up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel if you're a returning subscriber, and if you're new, what's up? In today's video, I'm going to be doing pretty much the same video I did last week, but a little bit different. If you guys didn't watch last week's video, please make sure you go check it out. In last week's video, what I did is I read 1-star reviews of my highly rated books that I had read recently. Okay, and so in this video I plan on reading 1-star reviews of my low rated books that I've read. Yeah, so 3 books that I pretty much got, which you probably saw from the thumbnail. First one, November 9. The second one, it's been a long time since I read this one. It's been a long time, but it was very popular at one point in time. Okay, it's gonna be none other than After by Anna Todd. And then the last but not least book that I have that was pretty popular, I want to say like last year or the year before, it's gonna be none other than Fourth Wing. So let's just go ahead and jump right into the video. Alright, so the first book we're going to start off with might as well just be November 9 by Colleen Hoover. I go ahead and read you guys synopsis. It says, Fallon meets Ben, an aspiring novelist, the day before her scheduled cross-country move. Their untimely attraction leads them to spend Fallon's last day in LA together, and her eventful life becomes the creative inspiration Ben has always sought for his novel. Over time, and amidst the various relationships and tribulations of their own separate lives, they continue to meet on the same day every year, until one day, Fallon becomes unsure if Ben has been telling her the truth or fabricating a perfect reality for the sake of the ultimate plot twist. Can Ben's relationship with Fallon and simultaneously his novel be considered a love story if it ends in heartbreak? So that's synopsis for November 9. Yeah, that's that for this. So we're going to go ahead. I'll eventually screen record, or I might just upload photos. I don't know. Oops, sorry. Alright, y'all. So we should be screen recording now. I think I'm just gonna read I'm gonna keep it to like a good 5 comments for each book, again, to try to keep the time of this video not too crazy. That's what we're gonna do. So the first one we have here, I'm gonna try to block out names, hopefully. Okay, this was written in like February 22nd, 2019. So again, this book is pretty old, okay, but we're gonna read this first comment. Oh, she wrote a whole novel. Yeah, okay, let's just go ahead. I'm gonna just go ahead and read this. It's very long. So yeah, let's go ahead and start. It says, I would give this 0 stars if I could. Since I was on the plane when I began reading this, I was unable to Snapchat log how much I hated it. Therefore, here's my list of complaints in word format. First, Fallon describes herself as being obsessive compulsive about hygiene. You could just say you find hygiene important instead of belittling an actual mental illness for a hyperbole. Okay, 2, homeboy Ben eavesdrops on a conversation Fallon has with her father in a restaurant. Then when she says she hasn't had a boyfriend, he slips into the booth next to her and pretends to be her boyfriend. What the fuck? What the fuck? Go sit back at your own table. Stop touching her and calling her ladybug and baby. 1-800 did not ask and was not invited. Okay, 3, I'm tired of every Colleen Hoover being about a girl with self-confidence issues. Even worse, in this one, the MC has disfiguring scars, which just worsens the fact that Hoover would exploit trauma and burn victims to establish a character trait. Now listen, I haven't read a lot of Colleen Hoover books. I tried to read my second one, and y'all already told you how that went. I couldn't get past the first chapter because I genuinely just don't give a fuck. And I really don't even really now give a fuck to try to watch the movie, because all that drama with that shit, ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody try to spend no money on that either to see if it ain't really like interesting or gets better than the book. We ain't got time for that. So but I mean, I could say at least for this one, I mean, again, I don't know, she said something about let me see, having self-confidence issues. Well, I could probably see that with Lily, even though I read just 1 chapter of it, because again, like the way a motherfucker can just switch your opinion on what a bad person is, especially when you're talking about the relationship with your father and how he abused your mother so quickly, and you just met him, you got something going on. I don't know if it's self-confidence issues, but it is something. I can just say that much. But okay, but let's continue. Literally the entire first chapter in Ben's perspective is talking about her boobs and what color underwear she is wearing. What the fuck? How is that sexy or romantic for a guy to be fantasizing about undressing a girl in his head barely 2 minutes after they meet? That is a good point. That's very weird. Okay, next. Furthermore, I'll stop using caps now because I feel like I'm wearing it out, but please do bear in mind that I'm furious. He literally says, if we're just going to sit here and stare at each other, it'll be nice if she were showing a little cleavage instead of wearing this long sleeve shirt that leaves everything to the imagination. It's pushing 80 degrees outside. She should be in something a lot less convent inspired. Page 24. It's chapter 2 and he's already dictating how she should dress. Oh my fucking god. I want to tear this book apart. Okay, the next. A few paragraphs later, he starts looking at her scars and he's like, are her breasts scarred too? How much of her body is actually affected? And I get that it might be a genuine curiosity to see her and wonder how much of her body is affected by the burns, but you can't just ask someone that or blatantly fantasize about undressing them just to satisfy your curiosity about this disease or scars. About their disease or scars, excuse me. I literally don't understand this. This is absolutely disgusting. I began to mentally undress her, and not in a sexual way. I'm just curious, really curious. Page 25. What the F? This is so wrong. It completely fetishizes her scars. The next, I call bullshit on this book. I know the romance genre is unrealistic because it's mostly just woman's wish fulfillment, but a straight, not unattractive guy swooping in to save a girl from a verbally abusive dad, buys her dinner, is a creative writing student, etc. It doesn't happen. This doesn't exist. Anyways, next. I've always gotten subtle homophobic vibes from Hoover's books, but on page 28, MC says no gay man I know would have left the house looking like you do right now. And just the outright stereotyping and trying to use that to be funny is just gross. Assuming every single gay man puts fashion on an altar is so stupidly stereotypical, and I'm angry about it. Page 34. He begins to get all romantic and heavy and saying, want to know what I was thinking about when I saw you for the first time? And we thought we were going to get a touching story about looking past her scars at her beauty, but nope. Full paragraphs talking about her ass and him wondering if she was going commando. The objectification of women in this one is so undeniably and painfully real. I'm gonna read this last one again. She has a full novel comment. I'm not gonna read all this because I want to try to at least read 5 from other people. So I'm gonna just read this last comment. And it says, Ben basically navigates throughout this book doing whatever he wants without asking Fallon's consent, and then forcing her to do things because he thinks she's uncomfortable for no reason. Okay, now that bitch. That's it. That's the thing. That's it. That's ooh, Jesus, that is it. For no reason. It's just disgusting that the man's presence in this book is written so much more naturally and commanding in this book. She hit that one on the fucking nail, bro. Because that's very true. Like, he just think all her feelings, especially about her scars, it's just like, why do you feel that way? You were beautiful, bitch. Huh? Like, not to say that it's not real, true that she's beautiful, but it's just like, you can't force somebody to feel some way you want them to feel, especially when she's been dealing with this for a good majority of her life. And bitch, especially because we found out you're the reason she got the damn scars in the first place. Bitch, shut the fuck up. I cannot deal. I can't deal. Oh god, let me see, how long is this one? People writing think pieces and why they don't like this shit. Do you understand? They writing think pieces and I understand. Try this one. Okay, it says, why would a girl care to find herself when she'll never be able to make herself feel as good as a guy can? I've said this before, but I'll say it again. I like Hoover's writing. I think her concept of novels that differ from the standard format of NA romance books. I really enjoyed Never, and I also like Confess. This book has reminded me of all the reasons her stories and characters have annoyed me in the past. The relationship between writers and the truth is something I find fascinating. I especially like it when authors structure their novels so it's like a book within a book or a story within a story, and you can't be sure whether you're reading the truth or what the writer wants you to believe. November 9 touches upon that concept barely. But the reality is it just isn't done very well. From the opening quote that had my jaw dropping in horror at what I was reading to this weird apologies made for bad romance novels. Seriously, this should be called Indifference of Shitty Romance Novels, or How to Write a Shitty Romance Novel, because all the tips are here. The book tries to make excuses for itself through the use of Ben being a romantic writer. Fallon doesn't like insta love, one of my biggest pet peeves, and yet both her and Ben conclude that they did have a kind of insta love. But you know, acknowledging something doesn't necessarily make it okay. In this case, it doesn't at all. Fallon is so annoying and melodramatic. I swear she must cry at least once per chapter. Also, she makes some sweeping dramatic statements that seem off. Why does she think it would be a normal reaction for Ben / her hypothetical boyfriend to dump her after witnessing her argument with her father? What a drama llama. Drama llama, that's so funny. Just imagine it. Your boyfriend sees you having an argument with your dad and he's like, oh wow, that's it, it's over. I wouldn't think that was normal. I'd think, what a jackass. True. Ben is another controlling douche wrapped up in a gorgeous I give you new self-esteem package. I shoved the dress back at him. I don't want to wear that. I want to wear this. No, he says, I'm paying for dinner so I get to choose what to stare at while I eat. Be still my, I think she made a typo, I don't know. It says, be still my heart beating. What? Be still my beating heart. I think I'm in love. Sarcasm. I think she messed up that sentence. I was like, what? Okay, anyways. He also, at one point, interrupts Fallon and puts his hand over her mouth so she can't speak while he delivers this big speech about how beautiful she is and only she cares about her scars, which, as the book shows, actually isn't true. And also, get your controlling hand off her mouth, douchebag. So, those are the characters, but there were other things I didn't like the fact that Ben quotes poetry when he sees her naked and they're about to have sex. Ew. And he says this cringy line, baby. He says, his lip forming a smile, you have already made this the best I've ever had, and I'm not even inside you yet. And oh my god, when he finds out she's a virgin, Fallon, he whispers, dragging his lips slowly across mine. Thank you for this beautiful gift. Oh please, just let me unsee it. Then there's the fact that the blurb refers to the ultimate plot twist, which can really only be one thing. The characters' lives are not developed enough that there are multiple possibilities regarding the twist. It was so obvious what it had to be about. And finally, the plot twist / angst wasn't very well conceived. I actually didn't buy into their reasons for not being together. It seemed like excuses made to prolong the story. I've experienced what it's like to meet someone new, click with them instantly, and become completely wrapped up in them and your emotions. You generally do whatever you can to be with these rare people. You do not come up with crappy excuses why it won't work. Fallon and Ben like each other. They're falling in love with each other. But oh no, they can't be together. It's not time. They would just distract one another from their goals. What a load of bullshit. Also, one last thing. This is a small matter given all the other criticisms I've had, but can we stop using stereotypes for gay men? And can we stop saying that the guy over there can't possibly be gay because he forgot to shave today? It's just stupid, and let me tell you, my brother is gay. He waits until we're all like, it looks like a bunch of fury caterpillars died on your face before he shaves. Just saying. Ugh. Yeah, cause at the end of the day, they a man. Don't change just because they like other men too. Not all gay men are feminine. So, I mean, yeah, it's the same thing the lady said in the first one. So, why do I not remember? Again, it was a while since I read November 9, but I just genuinely do not remember that part of it. Okay, so now I'm about to go ahead and pull up for the next one, which we're going to be doing is After. This is the first book, and I want to say a 4-book series. Let me just go ahead and read all the synopsis. I'm stalling. Okay, Tessa is a good girl with a sweet and reliable boyfriend back home. She's got this direction, ambition, and a mother who intends on keeping her that way. But she's barely moved into her freshman dorm when she runs into Hardin. With his tousled brown hair, cocky British accent, tattoos, and lip ring, Hardin is cute and different from what she's used to. But he's also rude, to the point of cruelty even. For all his attitude, Tessa should hate Hardin, and she does, until she finds herself alone with him in his room. Something about his dark mood grabs her, and when they kiss, it ignites within her, a passion she's never known before. He'll call her beautiful, then insist he isn't the one for her, and disappear within a word. Despite the reckless way he treats her, Tessa is compelled to dig deeper and find the real Hardin beneath all his lies. He pushes her away again and again, yet every time she pushes back, he only pulls her in deeper. Tessa already has the perfect boyfriend, so why is she trying so hard to overcome her own hurt pride and Hardin's prejudice about nice girls like her? Unless, could this be love? Bitch, it ain't. But that's synopsis for after. This one isn't too long, so let's go ahead and just start off with this one. Okay, also, didn't know at the time that this was like a One Direction fan fiction. Wasn't really a One Direction fan like that, like at all. That wasn't me personally when I growing up, but I didn't even know that. It was supposed to be written on Wattpad, and then it got put into like actual like, you know, physical copybooks and sold in Barnes & Noble and shit like that. Okay, but anyways, let's go ahead and read this first review. It says, I don't normally read fanfiction on Wattpad, One Direction fanfiction, even less so. But given that this trilogy nearly has 1 billion reads altogether, I thought to myself, this can't be that bad. After all, it's literally the most popular unpublished trilogy on the internet right now. I should give it a try. And I regret it. I'm never again judging a book by its popularity. Ooh, girl, that's a fucking bar. I've learned so many things, especially when it comes to book talk. I don't even have a book talk, but just the popularity of books, because it's so highly popular. Like, even the book that we're gonna mention in this video, Fourth Wing, being so extremely popular that you can't even get a copy. Like, do you know how long it took me to get that copy of that book just to fucking hate it and give it a half star? Bitch, that I've done believing what y'all say about books. Okay? Y'all don't really have, listen, I don't care if you started reading when you was in the womb, or you started because of quarantine, because of COVID. It is what it is. But I found that a lot of these popular ass books that's been getting popular as of lately, especially on BookTok, I feel like they're from readers who just started reading. Like you started reading because of COVID and shit. And maybe COVID was messing with y'all brains on good quality books. No shade, no offense, but I just can't trust y'all. It's like book recommendations and book stuff, I gotta believe from somebody who got like the credibility. You know, like, you know how a job, like, they're not just gonna hire you on the spot. They gotta look at your resume. Let me see what you got on there. That's how I'm feeling about books, especially that's become popular on BookTok. Let me see your resume. Let me see your book resume and what you've been reading. If you started reading when COVID hit, bitch, you don't qualify. You can't make the job. I'm sorry, no offense, but I've learned my lesson. I've learned my lesson. I'm not listening to you. No shade, no offense, nothing. It is what it is. I'm so sorry, but bitch, y'all have lied multiple times and I've had enough. Please leave. Take your resume, your pay, everything with you. You didn't make the cut. Sorry. That's just me personally. I'm done because it's just not hitting for me personally. But anyway, let me continue. Honestly, have no idea how the movie rights for this were bought, much less how a big six publishing house like Simon and Schuster actually agreed to publish it. The plot is like the other 90% of the stories on Wattpad involve a good girl and a bad guy and a bad boys. Only it includes the infamous Harry Styles, which is probably the only reason why it was accumulated so many views. And let me tell you, I can name at least 30 stories that are based on the same idea but are written 10 times better. Yet somehow they didn't make Wattpad blow up as much as After did. They say that this is the new 50 Shades of Grey. I admit I haven't read James' books, but the situation does seem similar. 50 Shades was initially a Twilight fanfiction. That I didn't know either about 50 Shades. Yeah, because I didn't know, but I found out later on. I'm like, oh, okay. You know, I still haven't read Twilight, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm going to do a reading vlog on that because I actually have the whole book set. I need to get my shit together. Twilight fanfiction. Was it not? And this 1D fanfiction is the next big thing. With bidders for the movies and the publishing rights, God forbid it ever become a bestseller. Books like A Prospective Relationship, Love at Last Sight, Last Summer Rain, that's what Wattpad's about, and that's what should be made popular by Wattpad. If After gets published with Made Popular by Wattpad on its front cover, I will be very disappointed because the last thing I want to see is fiction like this representing a community filled with brilliant authors. This, however, was so poorly written that I'm having a hard time grasping how the editor is going to make it better. Not only that, but the plot itself lacks any depth whatsoever. At least some of the similar stories I've read actually carried a message. This story does not. It's not based on love, it's based on lust. It does not portray an honest and involving relationship. Instead, it's centered around a boy with a serious anger management issue and a love-struck girl who barely knows him but will put up with anything. She will put up with anything. Oh my goodness. It don't make no sense. Ma'am, get up. Get up, please. Oh my God. There was no lie in that statement. Oh my God. The majority of the chapters consist of him abusing her emotionally and then making it all better through makeup sex. She hit the nail. It does not even follow a storyline. It's chapters after chapters of the same thing. After the same thing. Chapters and chapters of the same damn thing. Okay. No, just no. Absolutely no meaning. Absolutely no depth. Absolutely no character development. Absolutely no plot development. Absolutely nothing. Perhaps after its publishing, it will get better. Maybe, just maybe, I'll actually bother to finish the trilogy. I would never buy this, but I would be willing to finish it on Wattpad, although I suspect it will not get edited there. So that's an unlikely scenario. But until I see a more decent version, I'll be stuck here wondering how many of the people who made this story so popular are over 13 years of age. And mind you, I considered After 18 plus. Facts, it should be because there was a lot of sex scenes up in that batch. Okay, sorry for being harsh, but this story does not even deserve 1 star in my eyes. And I don't even know if I was doing a rated scale at the time when I read that. It says, keeping in mind what Harry Styles always says, treat people with kindness. Let's start the review of the entire series because it's easy this way. I can't joke about same thing over and over again. I fucking hate this book. This is an understatement. Someone once said, once you have got Erox, you have some real quality issues. I don't know what that is or how to even pronounce that. That a drug? I'm not sure. You guys can see from the recording. That's what this book is. Copy of a copy. Successful parts of Twilight and 50 Shades plus Harry Styles likeness equals After, which is crap. Let's introduce you to history's most immature, stupid, and fucked up protagonists, Tessa and Hardin. Yes, I am not gonna use Harry. I love Harry. I love One Direction. Tessa, the saint, who never had sex and never touched herself, even with a boyfriend, because she was waiting for the right one, huh? Who loves books? Just like Anna and Bella, and her motives in life is going in parties and being with people who are fucked up, pissing off Hardin by kissing a random guy so that he can beat the shit out of that person and they can live happily ever after and repeat the same shit again. Next is Hardin, aka emotionally damaged bad boy, who treats Tessa like shit throughout the book but is really romantic deep, symbolized by him having read deep novels, and our baby boy can't sleep without her beside him. The fact that being near her makes his nightmares go away is used by him used by him over 2,000 pages. Overall, the two of them are trapped in a clusterfuck of a codependent relationship that will make Sid vicious and Nancy look tame. Lastly, nothing can change the way I feel about you. Quote from Wuthering Heights. Thank you. Alright, y'all, that's the last review, last comment for after. Man, these people are reading the book for themselves, and I'm not mad because they're not lying. Okay, next and last what we got for this video is gonna be Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. But anyways, let's go ahead and just get into it. Let me read the synopsis for Fourth Wing. It says, 20-year-old Violet Sorrengail was supposed to enter the Scribe Quadrant, living a quiet life among books and history. Now the commanding general, also known as her tough-as Talon's mother, has ordered Violet to join the hundreds of candidates striving to become the elite of Navarre dragon riders. But when you're smaller than everyone else and your body is brittle, death is only a heartbeat away, because dragons don't bond to fragile humans, they incinerate them. With fewer dragons willing to bond than cadets, most would kill Violet to better their own chances of success. The rest will kill her just for being her mother's daughter, like Xaden Ryerson. I hate how his name is Xaden, cause what the fuck? It's an X. I don't know why. For the longest in that reading vlog, I was mispronouncing his name. It is what it is. The most powerful and ruthless wing leader in the Riders Quadrant. She'll need every edge her wits can give her just to see the next sunrise. Yet, with every day that passes, the war outside grows more deadly. The kingdom's protective wards are falling, and the death toll continues to rise. Even worse, Violet begins to suspect leadership is hiding a terrible secret. Friends, enemies, lovers, everyone at Bathgath War College has an agenda, because once you enter, there are only two ways out: graduate or die. That's synopsis for Fourth Wing. Here we go. Just gonna go ahead and go to this first comment because it's like only 5 months ago. Y'all still writing think pieces. Jesus fucking Christ. Sue. That's the name of this person who wrote this comment. I'm sorry. I know I wasn't gonna put names, but god damn, she writing the whole damn story her damn self. She writing think pieces with putting gifs in their damn comments. Like, that's how you know they serious about this. I'm gonna read this comment into the first gif, and then I'm gonna stop. She gave this book a 1.5 out of 5. New year half resolution. New half year resolution. I need to stop taking recommendations from Book Talk. I told y'all what I just say. I'm done. I'm not listening to nothing y'all say because y'all be lying. I'm not going to lie here. If this series hadn't been raved about everywhere I looked online, I probably wouldn't have read it. I'm trying to stop reading TikTok popular books, but the rating in this book made me pick it up. Fourth Wing was my first book by Rebecca Yarros, so I didn't know what exactly to expect, but at least now I know that it will be my first and last story about this author, because it turned out not to be for me. This review probably won't cover all the things I didn't like about it, as I started skipping pages after about 60... Bitch. Me and her are here. We're here. Because if that wasn't me skipping pages, eventually, like, I just kept breezing through. And my thing was, for me, is I started reading everything that was in quotation marks. So everything that was actually being like physically said between the characters, every time I saw a quotation mark, I was reading. Everything else in between, I was skipping because I didn't care. Excuse me, I didn't care. So I just kept reading the quotation marks. That's what I do usually when I'm just like, okay, I'm kind of over this. I don't want to continue reading this. I just like read the quotation marks. Yeah, but let me continue. The view probably won't cover them because further but without further ado, let's finally get into the point of my review. What exactly didn't work out for me in this story? The story didn't hook me up from the beginning at all. The main reason for this is probably because the writing style didn't speak out to me. I actually DNF'd it the day before because of that reason, but decided to give it another chance because I thought it might not be my day for it, or maybe I wasn't in the right mood after a whole week. At one point, I was even glad about this decision, but my enthusiasm didn't last long. I have to be honest and say that around 40% of the book, I was pretty invested in the story when the dragons finally showed up. Unfortunately, it turned out I was only interested when the dragons were involved. The rest was just boring to me. The second thing is that I felt no connection to the characters. Literally nothing. I must admit that, I must admit that Violet has some great moments, but most of the time I was just embarrassed by her actions. The example, glad to see our year apart hasn't dulled your tongue by. Oh, I tossed over my shoulder as we walked into the hallway. I can do quite a few things with my tongue. You'd be impressed. That line sounded like a horny frat boy. Also, if you didn't get it that she was short and tiny, the author kept reminding you of that because that important information was indeed very important. I'm too short, so she's small. Mom scans me up and down. Good gods, I don't even reach his collarbone. I'm shorter than most. You're pretty small for a writer, but it looks like you made it. I'm at a disadvantage that I'm too small to climb his foreleg and mount. You're tiny, he says, it like an insult. I'm the smallest of our squad. I'm too short for that ramp, I whisper to Rye. I'm too short to span the distance, I hiss, uncaring that anyone could hear us. I still don't get it. That's what the GIF says, but you guys can see from the recording. Okay, I'm gonna stop it right there because, again, it's freaking long. But yeah, she definitely made sure to tell us she was small and tiny the entire time. Okay, let me just start with this one. It says, if I had $1 million for every cliche in this book of where there are a multitude, I'd still regret spending $20 on all 498 pages of this mess. Spoilers to follow. Let's start with the world building. Now, this book has two things I love dearly: dragons and the academic setting. Yarros, however, explains almost every element of her world so poorly and sporadically that the entire story feels as though it were concocted page by page. The hierarchy of squadrons and sections and wings is so unnecessarily confusing. The whole war going on along the border is so vague. It was obvious that from the start that some twist was going to reveal the good guys were actually the bad guys all along. The author's primary methods of expositions is dropping pieces of information into conversations that feel forced and completely unnatural. No one talks like that. No one shares information like that. Now the writing. The sentence constructions alone were enough to give me a headache. I can't tell you how many times I had to reread entire paragraphs because of poorly written and run-on sentences. Now this is a fact because I think when I started my reading vlog of Fourth Wing, I had to end up starting it over in that vlog. I believe I said that in the vlog. Like, I started maybe reading the first 3 chapters and I had to restart all over again because I really didn't fucking understand what the fuck was going on. And obviously this is also like an intro to me a little bit to fantasy books because I don't really read fantasy books. So that also played a factor as to why I had to reread it over. But again, the sentences weren't the best as well. So yeah, I could definitely agree to that comment. But I kind of want to go to the characters now. I'm going to skip over that and go to the character segment of this comment. So she says, now for the characters. Oh, the characters. Starting with the main event, we have frail young Violet, who is so relatable because she's so clumsy and she's so bad at things. Simultaneously, she is so smart, like smarter than everyone, and so unique that she gets not 1 but 2 dragons to bond with her. And of course, they're both the rarest kind of dragons that exist, and naturally everyone wants her dead for reasons. But does her life being in danger give her any sense of self-control? Absolutely not. She argues with everyone and she throws her sass around to both peers and superior officers with little to no consequences. This woman has the survival skills of a fruity fly. Not a fruity fly, but a fruit fly. Facts. She has no preservation instincts at all. And that was before she even got mated with the dragons. Because the boy who was trying to kill her because of who her mother was, when you have to cross this little path or something to even get into the college, well, whatever the fuck that was, and he had like I don't know what happened, but long story short, she got across it, and the guy that was trying to like kill her and stuff didn't. He was still on it, so whatever happened to him would have happened to him fair and square, because she had a knife held to him while he was still on the little ledge, while she was like in the college, and like she didn't kill him. Like, bitch, just kill the motherfucker, because you know he's gonna be a problem the entire rest of the fucking book. But of course, did the bitch kill him? No. I'm just like, bitch, fuck you. You already pissing me off, because you know he's gonna be a fucking problem the entire rest of the book. I would just kill his ass off now. Ain't nobody got time for that. But of course she didn't, which I mean, I guess creates that drama of the story with him always trying to attack her. I forgot what his name was, because again, I read this a while ago. I barely remember the characters' names. Okay, but yeah. Whoo, child. Let me continue. Additionally, her moves go back and forth quicker than an Olympic ping pong match. Oh, that's so funny considering the Olympics just like went on. That's actually very funny. First, she hates Xaden because he's a traitor. Then she loves Xaden because she decides to trust him. Then she hates Xaden because he's a traitor. I'm expecting the cycle will continue in book 2. Also, she starts off wanting to be a scribe and gets pissed when she's thrown into the writer's quadrant. Then she decides she definitely wants to be a writer because the decision is given hardly any explanation or emotional weight. And then there's Discount Raishin. Oh wow, the moody black-haired rebel with tattoos is actually the good guy? Shocking. He's hard on the outside but a softie on the inside. Groundbreaking. Also, the way that Yaros writes his character from Violet's perspective is downright sickening at times. From the very first scene with him, Violet's internal thoughts about Xaden are grossly objectifying. Everything is about his body and how hot he is, and how badly she wants to sleep with him. There's an entire scene spanning 2 pages where Violet and another woman are straight up ogling shirtless Xaden while he's sparring with another guy. It's disgusting. If the roles were reversed, if a male author wrote about a male character viewing a woman in the same way, heads would be rolling. It's gross and frankly one of the most disappointing things about this book. Honestly, none of the other characters are interesting enough to write about. The dragons were fine, and probably the most likable. Sawyer was the only human I found tolerable. Dane was just annoying, as he was clearly meant to be. And I'm just going to end it there, y'all, because again, I've been recording for almost an hour, and yeah. But anyways, that was it. Those were the 1-star review comments on Goodreads for these 3 very popular books. You've probably heard one of them, or you even read one. But again, Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros, After by Anna Todd, and November 9 by Colleen Hoover. Because I ain't gonna care, because it has been a very, very, very long time since I've read this book. So if y'all want me to do a whole fucking reading vlog of reading this, what I wouldn't say I loved when I was younger, but I ate up when I was younger, now that I'm an adult. But I feel like better standards of books. If y'all want to see me do another reading, or like a reading vlog of this, now that I'm older, in like my opinion, please let me know in the comments down below, because I feel like that should be fucking funny. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you give the video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. Also make sure you turn your notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a video. And with all that being said, I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.